hell is going on in the UK?
The UK is fucked.
Is anyone else getting really fucked off with this country?
Okay, so for everyone that is saying American beef is too expensive, let's just look at this right here.
No, seriously, why are people who have worked their entire lives sitting in one room of their house just to survive?
You know, I don't recognise the UK anymore, and I am ashamed to even live in this shithole of a country.
I don't want to work anymore because I'm working every day very hard and I never had money. Fucking shit. So everything is expensive, motherfucker. So I don't know.
Are you homeless due to be homeless or just struggling to pay rent and bills in the house that you're living in currently?
Here's everything I got on a no-budget food shop for a family of 4 at Aldi. My husband wrote the shopping list this week and he'll be very sad to know that they absolutely do not sell ball sacks in Aldi.
So yesterday I posted about our pub meal that cost 60 quid and people had a lot to say. So here's what actually happened.
The UK real estate market is finished. In my opinion, by the end of 2030, it's going to be near enough impossible for you to buy your own residential property or have your own little buy-to-let that you can make a little bit of money from.
No. This cannot keep happening. Prime Minister Keir Starmer and Chancellor Rachel Reeves have signed off yet another aid plan of £2.8 billion for Ukraine.
The other day I was on a lovely boat trip, really nice, actually a breakfast trip on a boat. Sounds really glamorous, it wasn't, it was just a little fishing boat and they happened to do breakfast. And there was a whole group of people on the boat and obviously none of us knew each other when we got on there. It was just a couple of hours down the river and back, super nice. But the funny thing was that, you know, just how conversation flows. And I've done many posts about, you know, how many people I speak to that have a massive dislike for the UK that all feel very trapped here, like me, you know, because our options are very limited now as to where we can go and where we can live and where we can settle, etc., etc. And it just goes to show the strength of feeling, because we'd all had our breakfast, there was about 12 of us, and then we all went on deck and we were sitting talking, and so quickly that conversation turned to the state of the country, you know, and what's going on here, etc., etc. And out of those 12 people, 11 of them wanted to leave the UK. And I just thought, wow, this is just a small amount of people on a boat. And what really struck me is how everyone wanted to talk about.
Welcome to Blighty Blighted, your daily reminder that Britain has become an unaffordable shit place to live. Let's not dance around it. Living in the UK now costs an absolute fortune and delivers very little in return. Everything's expensive, everything's worse, and everyone's expected to pretend this is normal. Rent, criminal, food, a piss take, energy bills downright sadistic. You don't budget anymore. You negotiate with reality and hope it doesn't punch you. You work, you pay, you struggle. And at the end of it all, you're told to be grateful you're not worse off. That's the new British dream. Survive quietly and don't complain too loudly. People can't save, can't plan, can't get on. Buying a home feels like winning the lottery, except the tickets cost too much and the prize keeps moving further away. This country used to reward effort. Now it punishes existence. You pay top prices for bottom-tier outcomes. Roads full of holes, services that don't answer, shops that overcharge, and housing that eats wages like a greedy bastard. And still, people defend it.
Well, someone tell me what the fuck I'm missing here, because I just don't get it. How on earth is this Labour government still running this country? Because each day that goes by, the country is falling on its knees, and I have had enough. You tell me what it is that's actually working here right now. Tell me one thing that's actually working, because I can't name one. The NHS is in an absolute mess. The cost of living is off the scale. In my whole lifetime, I've never seen it this bad. The immigration is insane. Crime is insane. The list is just endless. You can't drive down a road and not bang the car down a pothole. Tell me what on earth is right. And all we're doing is being taxed and taxed and taxed for it. What? To keep these idiots in power? It is absolutely off the scale, and it's got to end. We have to stick together and get this bloody Labour government out and get someone in there that can put this country back on its feet again. Guys, come on. Please share the post and wake everyone up. We've got to get this sorted out once and for all.
The other reason that I've moved away from Labour is because of the state of the country. I mean, it is in a mess, isn't it? Yes. Illegal immigration is out of control. The farmers are being harmed. The farmers are being harmed. Though the pensioners. I don't know if you noticed today, they've done a U-turn on the inheritance tax in the last 2 hours.
Well, I haven't seen that, but that is about time. That is a good present for the farmers. The hard-working people of our country deserve to be supported.
Yeah. Seriously. You get paid, you're taxed. Everything you buy, you're taxed. You die, you're taxed. All my bills have gone probably double, most of them. Gas and electric's probably tripled. Mortgage is almost doubled since pre-COVID times. It's getting ridiculous. No longer can we just rely on one wage anymore. It doesn't go far enough. So what do? Every one of us pretty much needs a second income, maybe even a third income. It's getting that bad. So that's what I've had to do. I've got another income, getting paid 5 times a month, with no selling, no targets, no digital marketing, nothing like that. If you want to know more, drop me a little message or a quick emoji.
And it's costing us so much having all these people in. That's what they should be cutting down, is the immigration that's coming into this country. Rather than putting VAT here and there.
Those immigrants are also paying taxes.
They are, most of them, not net contributors anymore. Most of them are not.
You have people who are coming in to staff our basic public services. If you took foreign-born people out of the NHS, the NHS would collapse.
Foreign-born people, it can't carry on. The more people we let in, the less likely our young people are going to get on the housing ladder.
I actually think it gets worse and worse every single day. We're literally getting taxed left, right and centre. It actually getting to the point where I feel like most people are just working to survive. Like, they're literally living paycheck to paycheck. They don't do anything else other than go to work because you literally can't afford it. Like, actually, what kind of life is that? Like, what are we all doing? I think a lot of people are opening their eyes to actually what's going on in the UK now. Like, they're actually realising that we've all been kind of brainwashed into believing that we go to school, get an education, get a good job, when in actual fact that just keeps us trapped. And the lifestyle isn't even good here. The weather is crap. Everybody is miserable. I am literally fed up of being here, getting to the point where I am thinking about going elsewhere. There actually isn't any such thing as work-life balance for most people. Now, let me know, has anyone left the UK? If you've left the UK, where have you gone? Where's better? I need some options. Anyway, rant over. Let me know what you think in the comments.
There's more than 20 million people on benefits, but I can't find anyone to fix a toilet in one of my rental properties. Care homes are full of Nigerian staff, and the reality is there's loads of work available, but British people are too lazy and too entitled to do any of it. There's far too many people that live under the assumption that the government is responsible for paying their wages and looking after them, and the reality is, can a country continue in that way?
Good morning. I've checked my bank this morning and my water bill direct debit has gone out of my bank, and this month my water bill has gone up from £68 a month something to £81 a month. Can someone tell me why this has happened? I am enduring, I do get thirsty, but I don't believe I've drunk that additional amount of water in 4 months. I watched some MP ball bag telling people that on benefits that they could live on £70 a week the other day. I'm sure their water bills, in fact all their bills, have gone up as well. We are absolutely screwed.
I just picked this comment out from the many comments that are appearing on my post I did where I was talking about putting the heating on. And what is incredibly sad is how many people, in the UK at least, are living like this right now. Like, afraid to put the heating on in their own home because we're worrying about not being able to afford to pay the bill. And, you know, we're all in the same boat here. But I never used to think about this stuff. Years ago, when I first was in this house, I would pay £60 a month for gas and electric. And my heating, as soon as the winter hit, like slightly colder seasons, my heating would be on timer in the evening, in the morning, every day. And I just didn't think twice about it. And it was a few years ago, as we all know, for all these reasons that we cannot control, that everything completely changed. And now we really have to think hard about whether we can justify putting the heating on. And to read, you know, I actually thought I was quite extreme, the way I lived, the way that when I'm here alone, just sit here and be freezing and just get on with it. There are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people doing the same thing, and it just is incredibly sad. And I'm sure people are making themselves unwell because they're afraid that they can't pay their bills. It's so wrong. And someone made the point of, you know, even if I can afford it, right? I can afford it right now. I've got that credit built up. But I'm so angry about the greed and the inflated prices that are so much higher than they need to be. I don't want those buggers having my money that I've worked so hard for. So it's almost like a stubbornness. Like, I'd rather be cold than let them have my money. But yeah, just want to say to everybody, like, please take care of yourselves. And thank you everyone for your comments. But do you know what? Pensioners shouldn't be terrified of putting their heating on. It's just wrong.
The UK is fucked. Our NHS is overflowing. Our roads are crumbling. The police are overwhelmed. Schools are overcrowded. Farmers are bankrupt. Pensioners are freezing to death. Inflation is soon going to be out of control again. But somehow we've still got money to fund this stalemate of a war. Zelensky is flying around Europe with his begging pot, and he hasn't even bothered to change his clothes since he was in America. When are they going to realise that peace talks are the only way forward? This war has been a stalemate for 3 years. Russia and Ukraine have made next to no progress. All the while that we keep funding this, more and more people are dying. And UK taxpayers are on their knees. People cannot take this anymore. We are being bled dry, day in, day out. I had high hopes for the meat.
Okay, so it's $13.50 per kilogram. There's 2.2 kilos per pound. So you divide that out. Basically, this equals out to $8.18. That equals out to $8.18 per pound. So, and this is 5% fat. So technically you have more meat than fat, because the typical beef, mince or ground beef in the States you're going to get is typically 80-20. There's like 70-30, 80-20. You can do like 85-15. But, and there's a 90-10 option, but, so there's a little more meat in this, but still, that's significantly more expensive than in the US. I think the US we're averaging anywhere between $5 and $6 a pound on average. Where I live, it's about $4.85 a pound. So, but anyway, just saying, beef has also been really high in Europe. So in Ireland and in the UK, they also have had a shortage of beef numbers. So I feel that the shortage of beef numbers is pretty global, which is really interesting that it's still a highly consumed product. And what I really like about this is that they say, hey, this is a healthy food item. So for everybody who says ground or beef isn't healthy, I hate to burst your bubble, but that's pretty far off point.
This is the real situation in the UK right now. Like, if you're between 18 and 35, they've literally just got us surviving. Like, we're actually not living if you deep it, right? Everything is through the roof. Food is through the roof. Taxes is through the roof. Electricity, everything is through the roof. And then the monthly wages that you're actually getting is just about covering your bills. Just about. Like, people are actually working full time and picking up extra shifts, and they still haven't got anything left over to even treat themselves, to take their family on the weekend away. Like, literally getting no enjoyment out of life. Like, if you're in your 20s or your 30s right now, this is probably the worst it's ever been for you. Like, the worst it's ever been for you. That's crazy. Like, you literally spend every month just stressing about making it to the next month. And the maddest thing is, it's not going to get any better. Like, it's not going to get any better. If anything, it's going to get worse. The only thing that we can really do is just make more money. Like, that's literally all we can do. The only thing we can do is just try and make more money, find ways of making more money. Like, to try and cut through now without having a side hustle is rough. Like, we've all got to find some sort of side hustle. And I feel like the only thing that makes the most sense for anyone between 18 and 35 or even older is to sell a digital product, because you've all been through something, you've all learned something that's helped you that others would want to learn from, right? And all you really need is a phone, a laptop, and Canva, which is free. Like, I've literally added a digital product to my store where I'm just talking about how to create content for 90 days, because I've been posting content for 90 days. Like, there'll be someone who's just starting that wants to know what they can post for the next 90 days. And let's say you price that at, I don't know, £10, and 20 people buy that, that's £200 a day. Like, everyone's got something that they've been through, that they've learned, that can help others, that others would want to buy. And even if you don't feel like you know anything, or you've learned anything, or you've been through anything that you can create a digital product about, there are products out there that allow you to resell it and put on your own store if you think is valuable. Like, that's how I even learned about this whole digital product space, is because I went through the UBC classes, and what they have is something called resale rights, and then you can put it on your own store if you think that is going to help other people. So don't let that make you think, oh, I don't know nothing, so I can't offer anyone anything. There's always something that you can offer someone, all right? Because you're going to have to do something, because it's not going to get any better, trust me. If you want me to send you my free guide on what digital products is, just send me a DM, or just click the link in my bio and you can have a read of it.
We didn't plan to eat out. The kids were hungry, so we just popped into the local pub, you know, as you do when you're out. We got 3 meals, and we got like nachos for my daughter. There was about 10 of them. We got 3 Cokes and 3 meals. The food was pretty rubbish. It wasn't great, and the bill came to 60 quid, and it was a shock because it was £60. I mean, if it's nice and the restaurant's lovely, I don't mind paying it, but for average pub food, I think it's a bit crazy. That's why I say you can't really go out in England without spending an absolute fortune anymore. That's one of the reasons I'd love to move somewhere like Bali and travel around Asia, where you can eat out without it costing you an actual fortune, and you get really nice, like, good food as well. Yeah, and some people in the comments were really mad that I'd actually, like, even said anything. I just think, it's my opinion, okay? If you're quite happy with paying £60 for rubbish food, you pay that. But me, personally, I don't want to pay that anymore.
Well, doesn't this just highlight how tough things are in the UK right now? I mean, we're not far off. Half of the country have £1,000 or less in their savings, and actually 16% of the country have no savings whatsoever. I mean, you're talking about 40% of our country are living paycheck to paycheck. They're admittedly one emergency away from potentially going into debt. Of course, it'll be no surprise that 44% of the country are not saving at all in the last year, or have reduced their savings and investments. I mean, here's the average savings by age, and you can see, it generally increases as you get older, up to 55 plus. But I find it quite interesting just how low they are. Particularly in the young years. I mean, look, up to the mid-40s, that's not a lot, is it? And actually, it shows, look here, it reduces at this stage, probably because that's when most people are having children. For me, talking about investing, it shows what a privilege it is to be able to do so. It also highlights how things need to change in our country. The cost of living is so high. But also, we have such a high tax burden, the highest since World War II. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it's just so frustrating to see. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and before you go, don't forget to like and follow for more finance and investing content.
You owe me £3,000.
What for?
Because of the job that I've sent him to do.
Yeah, okay. He's come on. He's on the fence. I've paid him. I've paid him £2,000.
Yes, sir. Yeah, but hang on. I'm doing the talking. I'm doing the talking.
He gave me the 2,000 rupees, sir. So, I'm sorry.
No.
They call it pounds here, no?
No.
So
We're doing.
Sorry,
stop it. I'm going to do all the talking, right? Let me finish this off. I've come here to get my money. I'll deal with you later, right? Let me sort this out now.
Okay.
Right, you owe me £3,000.
Mate, I didn't even know who you are.
I'm the bloke who you rang up.
Okay.
To do the job.
Okay, but I've never met you before in my life. I've met him before because he's only did the fences.
No, stop! I told you already. Shut up.
But I need.
You've already caused all this trouble. I shouldn't have to do this.
We already.
Right, no,
I
no,
need
no,
to
shut
get the
up.
2000.
Shut up. What don't you understand about shut up? I've told you before about this, haven't I? I've told you. Just shut up. Right, you owe me £3,000.
I don't understand why.
Why don't you understand?
Because I've paid him. So he came okay, yeah? When I called you guys up, you said that it's going to be about $5,000, all right?
Yeah, exactly.
You say, and then you sent someone to my house. You sent him, okay, yeah? I asked him how much it's going to cost me. He said £2,000. So after he did the job, I paid him the £2,000.
Yeah, but that's what I just said to you. I just said shut up, didn't I?
£2,000 I need. I already got the 2,000.
What have I just said? I just said shut up, didn't I? Just go back to the van. Let me sort out the problems you've just caused me again. It's not going to happen too many more times, I tell you now. Go and sit in that van. Go on. Go on.
Yeah.
Right, so you owe me £3,000.
Mate, I don't understand why.
Because we agreed £5,000.
No, you said that will be. No, hold on a minute.
£2,000.
Hold on a minute, yeah, buddy. You said that it's going to be about £5,000. You said that would be about.
Yeah, but
and there's no hold a minute, yeah. Hold a minute, yeah. And there's no even written communication about this. You didn't send me an invoice. You sent nothing. You said to me you're going to send someone over, and then they'll see if they can do it or not. He came over. I asked him how much is it. He said £2,000.
£2,000 don't even pay for the materials. And
I paid him £2,000 and he was happy with it.
Well, he would be, wouldn't he?
Exactly.
Because he's just going to pocket it. I'm having words with him when I get back in the
Okay.
van. But you owe me £3,000.
I don't owe you nothing, mate, because I paid him to do the job. He's done the job, and he's been paid. That's all I need to do.
No.
I don't care if I called you. You sent him over. If you wanted to be paid, then you should have done it. But you sent him over, yeah? He did the job. He got paid for the job. Now that's it.
No.
I asked him, how much is it? He said £2,000.
Yeah. Well, he would do, wouldn't he?
Well, yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did do.
Yeah,
so
and he got it.
It's not even enough to pay. As I said, it's not enough to pay the materials, the labour.
Well, like, so what? The materials just magically appeared.
What in the ever-loving has happened to the cost of food in the UK? It is unbelievable. I literally went into the co-op and I bought a sandwich, a drink, and a snack. £8.50. £8.50. Turns out, not all the sandwiches in the meal deals are in the meal deals. £8.50. How can 2 slices of bread, a morsel of cheese, a couple of leaves, some hula hoops, and a bottle of Ribena cost £8.50? I'm going to have to start growing my own potatoes, frying my own potatoes, and putting a dash of salt on the top to make my own hula hoops. I can make a sandwich, I hold my hands up, but sometimes it's a case of convenience. Sometimes I don't want to wake up that extra 20 minutes early to make a sandwich. A reasonable price for a sandwich, £1.50, £1.75. What item in that meal deal warrants £8.50 UK GBP pence? Disgusting.
So I've just been once again to Sainsbury's. You can maybe just see it. I'm just in the car park at Sainsbury's. The cost of living, the cost of living in the UK is fucking mental. Now I usually shop at Asda's. I stopped using Tesco's about 2-3 years ago. Asda's for a while has been pretty fucking good. But I was watching, as I'm growing the business, I was watching the price of everything. I'm like, Asda coffee was, I think it was like 40p and then 50p and then 60 then 80. And I'm like, It's doubled in price in like 6 months. Last time I was in there about a month ago, it was £1.80, and I was like, you're just taking a piss now. As they used to do as the savings as well, the little app, you'd press the app and okay, a little bit of savings and you got a little bit of money like credit to your account. It's been fucking horrendous. They've stopped the savings scheme. You don't get any money back, it's like micro amounts. I downloaded the Nectar app for Sainsbury's. I've just got a full bag of shopping, 2 bags of crisps, jam, a loaf of, I'm going to show you when I get home, right? So this is everything I got for £22. Like, I mean, I went for biscuits, right, and then I picked up some bone broth, I got jam, I got a bit of soup, a cob of bread with butter, I've got some hummus so I can put on my wraps, I got some Haribo, diluting juice, got crisps and I got tatties and carrots for suppers through the week. So, like, I mean, really, that's pretty expensive if I'm to get this for Asda. So as you can see here, £22. Pretty fucking good, right?
Minus the ball sack, here is everything I got. I got 2 punnets of strawberries, a large punnet of blueberries, a small punnet of raspberries, and then a handful of bananas. I have an obsession with mango at the moment, so I got 2 individual mangoes, 2 packets of avocados, 2 packets of pink lady apples, and some pomegranate seeds. This week for vegetables, we got some Brussels sprouts, 2 packets of microwaved herby potatoes, and some purple sprouting broccoli. We also got some lettuce and 2 packets of double corn on the cob. Yes, I am being lazy, and I got some lazy garlic and ginger, but it's just so easy to have in the fridge. 2 packets of microwave savoury rice, and some Thai red curry paste, because we are having a Thai red curry this week, so I also got some basmati rice and some green beans to put in that as well. These salt and chili chicken sizzlers were out of this world. We also got some plain chicken sizzlers, and then some of Aldi's own fridge raiders and pepperamis as well. My husband loves these ribs, so I got him these for his little Friday night treat, and then a 4-pack of salmon, 1 for each of us in the family, because this is a tea that we all enjoy together, and then a vegetable frittata for my dinners at work. A double pack of bacon, and then some spinach and ricotta tortellini. For my youngest daughter, she would have this for her tea every night if she could, and likewise my older daughter would have these tempura chicken bites every night as well. Moving on, I got 2 tubs of 0% fat Greek style yogurt, some parmesan and some feta, and then a large green milk. 2 tubs of soup for my dinners at work, and then some dark chocolate digestives, and then 2 packets of biscuits to put in the charity tub on the way out. These Starbursts are for my daughter to take to school, and then these cheese round melts that my husband's been obsessed with ever since my mum put them on the barbecue last week. Some Aldi's tomato sauce, a stirring pasta sauce, and then some chopped tomatoes and stock cubes for my daughter for her food tech ingredients this week. A 6-pack of ready salted crisps, and then 1 big ass cucumber. Now the drinks is where our food shop gets expensive. I got a 6-pack of fresh orange juice cartons and 2 8-packs of pop top juices for the girls. They're just so quick and easy for them to grab out of the fridge when they need a drink. 2 packets of Aldi's own Diet Coke, and a 4-pack of sparkling water. Aldi's aisles are also jumbly, but the next up was some household bits. So I got some bathroom cleaner and some washing pods, and then a 9-pack of toilet roll, and also a 2-pack of Regina Blitz, because normally I get this at Costco but we have run out. Then I got 3 packets of crumpets, 3 pots of porridge with syrup inside, and then a chocolate wheat cereal, and then an Oreo chocolate cereal as well. Nutella is ridiculously expensive, and Aldi do their own, and it's honestly exactly the same, so I picked up one of those. Then also a biscuit spread as well, which is just like Biscoff spread. And then because the weather's going to be hot this week, I stocked up on those ice creams. I got 2 packets of Aldi's own version of Magnums, and then I really fancied a strawberry split. This was the closest thing they had, so these will do. Pop them into the trolley, and then I needed some eggs, and obviously you have to check that none of them are cracked, and these ones were absolutely fine, so pop those in. And then the last thing was just some chocolate chip cake bars, and then it was time to head to the till. So I paid for the shopping, and then I popped the little bits into the charity tub on the way out. This shop in total cost £130, 28p. I don't need to go back to the supermarket now. This will last us all week, and I would love to know how much you spend and your family size.
London is not for everybody. London is not for everybody. Sure, you understand me? If you just newly enter this country and you think say because you don't hear London no be for everybody. You understand? as of today, as at now, if your income not this strong a bit, you understand, London is not for you. Because in a situation whereby you be paying 1,700 for a 2-bed apartment, just 2-bed, oh, and not your own, oh, you are renting 1,700. How much be your salary for the month? How much is your salary? And a house of 3-bed house is now going for 2,002, 2,003. You know, at the minimum, how much be your household, both you and your husband, or you and your partner? How much be your household income? How much is your husband earning? How much is you earning yourself as a wife? You understand? That is just the rent. 2,300, 2,400, depending on the area here in London. You understand? Now, apart from that, you talk about your council tax, electricity and gas bills, you know, feeding, your transportation to and fro work. If you now have a car, you now be talking about it's totally different thing entirely, because you be talking about your insurance, talking about your road, talking a whole lot of things. But if you don't have a car, you're not driving, both you and your husband not driving, you go to think of how much you go to spend on public transport every month. So when you now add all of these things together, I'm talking about your council tax, your electricity and gas bill, your feeding, if you get children, feeding for the children, everything put together. Put it on top of the rent, 2,300, 2,400 every month. You understand? Add everything together. How much is your household income? So there is every possibility, say, you know, if you save like £300 every month, if they live for London, there is possibility. That's why you see a lot of people waiting this London, yeah? 15 years, nothing's up. 20 years. Because everybody want to live for London. Now, if you had to drive through the Blackwater tunnel, to those of you that drive very well, you go no say Blackwater tunnel now, they don't charge £4 to go, £4 to come back. Except there are some discounts, maybe £1.50. You know, I don't know how that works, but then I know the standard now £4. You hear me so? Now, here is the thing. You have to do your math very, very well. A lot of people say because there's plenty job opportunity in London, that's why they stay for London. Because you have not even visited some other cities outside of London to see what's up, to see what's playing there. Then I will just remain for London. 3-bed house for outside of London. 3-bed house, the same 3-bed house where you pay 2,003, 2,004 for. For outside of London, you go to see the same 3-bed, even bigger garden for 800, 900, 950. One at most 1,000. There are a lot of nurses outside of London. There are a lot of doctors. There are a lot of midwives. There are a lot of, you know, good working people outside of London, living well. Because this conversation now, you know, was brought to me by one of the friends I have here. You understand? He lives in a room, and his salary is just about 1,750 a month, and he's paying just for one room. He's paying £820, including bills. £820 from his salary, 1,000 something. What does he have left before he thinks of feeding, before he thinks of transportation to and fro work, before he buys himself shirt, before he does this and that? The money is gone. Whereas the same one room, the bigger version of it outside of London, you can be paying like 350, 400. And people are just saying there are no jobs outside of London. There are jobs there. It's just because you've not visited. Make you go see what's in the play for outside of London. No.
The council can help, and they might not tell you this, so I'm going to tell you. So this time last year, I just got my home that I'm living in now. I was one day off becoming permanently, fully homeless. So obviously the first house that come up, I took it, it was this house. The rent is very high. I think it's very high for a 3-bedroomed house, but I needed a home, so I took the home. And the council actually paid my month's bond. So if you're due to be homeless and you're worried about a bond, speak to the council, because they will pay your first month's bond for you. So where I'm living now at the minute, like I said, I think my rent is high for a 3-bedroomed house. I have seen some cheaper, but then again, I've seen some a lot dearer, so I'm wondering, like, what do you pay? What do you think is standard rent for a 3-bedroomed house with no back garden? Well, it's got a little yard, if anything. 3-bedroomed standard house. What's the going rate for the rent? And if you are due to be homeless and you have any questions, please do let me know, because I do have quite a bit of knowledge in this. Like I said, I was due to be homeless this time last year, so I did get do a lot of research and like look into what I was entitled to and everything, because I was so lucky to get this house
one day before we was due to be on the streets.
Would you pay £500,000 for an ex-council flat in London because it's a 4-bed property in South East in Dulwich? This is what it looks like outside, and this is what it looks like inside. So here we've got the kitchen. Living room looks pretty nice size. So this is across a few different floors. Got a nice little bookshelf on the left there, and this is the view. So you've got a nice little balcony from the block of flats. Here we've got another angle of the kitchen. Looks quite nice. Now this has been sold, but again, it's subject to change. Got these very old school 1970s-esque tilings sort of in the bathroom. Now, a lot of people are going to say, no, I wouldn't want to live in this sort of property, but other people are going to be like, no, £500,000 for a 4-bed in London is a bargain. So this is in East Dulwich, built in the 1960s. It stands as one of Britain's most celebrated examples of post-war housing. Aluminium framed windows capture far-reaching views of the leafy skyline, and there are 2 private balconies, which is good. The estate has a nature reserve and is conveniently close to Dulwich Park, Peckham Rye and Lordship Lane. So this is the block of flats from the outside. I quite like the look of it from the outside. Looks pretty decent, but if you've ever been in the area, I want to let me know, what you think about it. Is it worth the £500,000? Could go for a little bit more than that. Technically does say it's sold, but obviously subject to change. Let me know what you think.
Now listen to this absolute bullshit. BBC licence fee warning, as new overall means the cost will depend on the price of your house, which means that your TV licence fees could increase with the value of your home. So they're suggesting that the £174.50 fee should be scrapped in favour of progressive payment structure. Why? Because no one pays TV licence. Who wants to fund a load of PDF files? Not me. But do you know what they're going to do? They're going to make it so you cannot opt out, regardless if you have not got a TV or if you have. And this is just the icing on the cake. This is Europe's energy costs. Look at the price of the UK, £2,960 a year. Now, you cannot say that we are not being robbed left, right and centre. National minimum wage is not matching the cost of living crisis. Remember when the WEF said they want everyone to own nothing and be happy? This is the plans coming to fruition, so the UK is finished.
I'm Shannon, and I rant about the UK because it's actually on some bullshit. Elderly people are turning off the heating, turning off the electrics, living downstairs wrapped in blankets because heating the whole house is impossible. This is 2025, not a war zone. And what makes it worse is this didn't happen by accident. The Labour Party know exactly what they've done. They scrapped the funding, support that people genuinely relied on to get through winter. You don't just take away that type of support and pretend that there's no consequences. These people who have paid tax their whole lives, built the country, funded the NHS, and now they're choosing between warmth and food. That's not belt tightening, it's abandonment. While politicians are out here talking about restoring faith, pensioners are sitting in the cold, hoping the health holds out until spring. If this is what fixing the country looks like, people have every right to be angry, because this isn't about luxury, it's about dignity. I'm too loud to be ignored, hit follow for more chaos.
The reason for that is there's huge multinational corporations buying billions and billions of pounds worth of real estate in the UK. So we have companies like Aviva, over the past couple of years, have spent £750 million on UK real estate, and they're looking to treble that over the next few years. Companies like BlackRock have just bought £1.4 billion worth of UK real estate to rent out. And also Citra Living. Their goal is to have 10,000 homes by the end of the year and have 50,000 homes by the end of 2030. Some of you might never have heard of Citra Living, and I hadn't till I'd researched it a bit. Citra Living are a subsidiary of Lloyds Banking Group. So effectively, Lloyds Bank are buying up tens of thousands of homes across the country to rent them out again. So that is the reason why it's going to be impossible, because the prices are going to go so high and the multinational companies are going to take all the property. So let me know what you think about that and what it will do to the UK real estate market.
They say let's move up north, so let's do the maths. They say the cost of living crisis is worse in the south. Now let's have a look at some of those numbers. Okay, so your rent and mortgage, 1,400 to 1,800. Your energy is 180 to 250. Travel, around 250. Again, these are averages. Food, you're looking at anything from £450 plus up to £700, depending on where you shop, size of your family. So you're looking there about £2,500 to £3,000 per month. Now that's even before you put a child in the mix or children, okay? So that's even not counting childcare. Okay, so let's have a look at up north numbers. So rent and mortgage, £800 to £1,000. Your council tax is £140 to £190. Your energy, £160 to £220. Then you're looking at food, £450 to £650. Food prices are pretty much where they are across the country. Travel.
Oh, it's like this everywhere. No, it bloody isn't. We're just very good at tolerating nonsense. Britain hasn't become expensive because it's successful. It's become expensive because it's inefficient, bloated and allergic to fixing problems. The real insult? Being told this is all temporary. Aye, temporary like the pay freezes, temporary like the rent hikes, temporary like the decline. Blighty isn't just pricey and it's unaffordable, exhausting and taking the piss. Still, we'll carry on. We always do. Because leaving costs money, and staying costs your sanity. Cheerio, and I will see you all in the next video.